There we go. Okay. So this is a new TAS of Pokemon Blue Glitchless. Hi, Jim Break. Welcome by. So this is going to be the exact same through the Nidoran catch and the Pidgey encounter. Hey, Wave Warrior. So, and Alan. Whoa, dude, the whole crew is here all of a sudden. Awesome. Okay. It's gonna be the same through the Nido and through the Pikachu encounter in the forest, where we get Red Bar. But then after that, there are tons of small changes that are gonna add up to some time save. And I have the run working for some of those changes already. But this, I have not played the whole thing back on console yet. So this is like live testing. But I've tested it on both BizHawk 2.4 and the new updated BizHawk, the interim one that I've been working with. That has all the changes from Gambate Speedrun 717. So it's super accurate. So if this doesn't work, I would be very surprised. However, okay, so the first thing we're going to do here in the existing run, this is all from the existing run, is we get Squirtle. I think we nicknamed Squirtle? Yes. And then we have to do a very, very specific rival fight. The rival fight, you want to tail whip it to make it fewer turns, and then you need 3 1-in-39 tackles, I think. Wait, either that or 2 1-in-39 tackles and a normal tackle. Super, super tight. And you have to manipulate Growl fails from Bulbasaur while it's happening. So you have to manipulate using Growl, the fail that's a 1 in 8 per turn, and then the 1-in-39 tackles every turn. So it's like a 1-in-64 and 2 1-in-40s. 1600, 64. Yeah, it's like some stupid big number. It's like 1 in 100,000 fight. Then we do our Route 1. Route 1 is not difficult to manipulate at all. I don't even know if we did use an A-press there. So, bad me. But you can't really change anything optimization-wise in this run until you get past Pikachu, because everything is botted through Nido and Pikachu. Gotta get the parcel. Now we have extra YOLO grass from what the RTA team would do. Picking up the parcel. And we do have the input viewer going. Stokey! Welcome by the stream, Stokey. So we have the input viewer going so you can see how precise all of the inputs are for all the text boxes. Could do back oak. It's the exact same timing in TAS. I've tested it several times actually. War tab! What's up, War tab? Why, thank you, Jimmy. Extra YOLO grass there, just for fun. Why, thank you, Wartab. Alright, Alright, now we have to buy our Pokeballs. We need 4 of them. We need 1 for Nitto, 1 for Pidgey, 1 for Sandshrew, and then we need 1 for bag space. Don't want to have bag space issues. And now we have a really, really complicated Nitto Minip that is not so much TAS only in the execution as it is TAS only because you would have to do the entire rest of the run to this point without hard resetting the console. Which I don't think is happening. Good, okay. I was worried that wasn't going to work. I think something crashed earlier, but the cart seems to be fine now. Yes, Alan, there is, and you will see why when we get to Brock. This Nitto is F6EF. Very specifically F6EF. It has to be either like F4 or F6. So that 4 and 6 is the defense. Alan's thinking a little bit ahead here. We're gonna see times behind until the fly split, because we're gonna get a flyer earlier than the old run. Now this Pikachu, I botted this Pikachu, and it is a 3-frame delay. It takes literally only 3 frames of delay to find a 1 in 100 encounter Pikachu in the forest. But mainly just because it has so many tiles to do the search. And we use the Pikachu encounter for 2 things. 1, to get the most experience we can get out of a single encounter. And 2, because it gets us Red Bar really quickly. Now, unfortunately, Red Bar does not do jingle skips on wild encounters, so it's not quite as useful as it is in some other situations for the encounter itself. But now we have Red Bar for this bug catcher fight. Now, this is the first major optimization from the previous TAS. We're going to save a whole turn over the previous TAS here by getting is it either 3 or 4? 4 string shot fails, so that's 1 in 8 from Weedle per string shot fail, and 3 1 in 39 crits and a normal crit out of Squirtle for a 4-turn Weedle fight, which is 1 in, what did I say it was, 15 trillion? I think it's a 1 in 15 trillion Weedle fight. Now we get Pidgey because it has the best cry of any Pokemon. Weed! Welcome back, String Weed. And there's a lot of back and forth with A and B there because you'll have consecutive input lag if you use B or A repeatedly in the Pokedex. Haha, we should do it more, Tab. Oh my gosh, Weed with the host, thank you. Okay, now here is why we had to get a level 3 Ditto instead of level 4. Not just because it is way easier to find a level 3, but also, the first thing that's going to happen is we don't have Nitto out for this fight at all. Squirtle gets all the experience off of Geodude, so it can get to level 10. Now, because Squirtle is level 10, Squirtle can crit Bubble down to 1 HP on Onix, and now die to Onix's Tackle crit. Now, Nitto comes in, gets tackled to 1 HP, so now Nitto will have Red Bar a lot easier on Route 3, and finishes off Onix for all of its experience. Now, keep in mind with the time loss here that the Pidgey encounter is 19 seconds. So we are effectively about 5 seconds ahead through the Brock fight. Wartab's calling hacks on the TAS. Now, for anybody who's watching and doesn't know the setup very well, I'll take my camera here and shift it around so you guys can see what's going on. This is a Game Boy player. This controller is doing nothing. Okay? If I press buttons on this controller, it will do nothing. What's happening is it's taking inputs off of the SD card and using those. Game Boy interface is using those to inject them into the Game Boy player and play them back on Pokemon Blue live right here. So you can see I'm streaming. You can see I got my Twitter up. This is all happening live on an official Game Boy player console. And you can see that also from the input viewer coming from Game Boy interface in the upper left corner of the video feed. Now, this fight is also really difficult to manipulate. Even though you use Leer for the first fight, you need some really precise damage ranges, and the same thing with all the horn attacks on the Weedle and this Caterpie. They're all very precise. Which you can see from some delay there necessary to get a specific tackle roll from Caterpie at the same time that we get a specific damage roll onto Caterpie. Like, I think we get 1 in 39 tackled by Caterpie there to get hit back exactly to 1. And we can manipulate Tail Whip Fail from Rattata so we don't have to worry about getting quick attacked. We do have Red Bar. And we can do a Horn Attack non-crit plus a crit here. This is a previous TAS Go-Go. So, the reason that we're 14 behind is because I moved the Flyer Catch up way earlier in the run, and that Flyer Catch is about 19 seconds, so we're effectively about 5 seconds ahead right now. Yeah, critting and killing with that is super difficult. Now we use Tackle first here, so that it'll have more damage before Harden kicks in, and then we go back to Horn Attack, critting. Are we still going to bonk in Rock Tunnel? I hope not. I don't think there's any bonks in Rock Tunnel. Also, I think I made that mistake in the Yellow TAS. I agree, Go-Go TDC. Same trick here with Metapod, tackling before the Harden comes in, and then going back to Horn Attack for the crit. Yeah, Yellow TAS has some really serious problems that need to be figured out, and the biggest one is botting a new Nitto without losing more than, like, I want to say like 30 or 40 frames. It's going to be really hard. Because the current Yellow TAS... Yeah, the current Yellow TAS has some issues. Casey Cake, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the calculator. Yeah, so now we had to non-crit that Horn Attack there, and then we want to crit one. All of this being very precisely routed, by the way, so that we have enough Horn Attacks to get through Moon. Because we don't want to have to center unless we have to. Oh, the 1-bit cheer, thank you. Haha, I hear you, Go-Go. Are you using my pipeline so you got it in Game Boy Color and GBA mode? Yeah, TAS Red Bar is insane, and that's gonna really ramp up. Stokey! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the calculator, Stokey. It's gonna really ramp up when we get to the bridge with instant text. Yeah, no save and quit moon manip because this is all a manip. The easiest way to explain what's going on here is this is just one giant manip for the entire game. War Tap. If you missed it, we bought escape ropes in pallet. We are never going to teach dig. We bought 7 escape ropes, and that is entirely going to be our means of escaping. It's actually faster. Yeah, it's not faster strictly, but it's faster because you don't have to teach dig, and then dig can take up inventory space, which is extremely necessary in TAS because you don't use X attacks, X accuracies, or X specials. So there's 3 extra spots you need to fill a bag space. Now here you want to do that Poison Sting first and then go back to Horn Attack, because then we're also going to need to Zubat, and we want to be on a Horn Attack for Zubat. You could Horn Attack, Poison Sting, and then switch back on Zubat, but it's, yeah. So really, like, the deal there is that the Poison Sting is a 1 in 39, and so you have to just, like, either check, okay, can I find a 1 in 39 easily if I Poison Sting first, or should I do the Horn Attack first and then see if I can find a 1 in 39 Poison Sting easily on the second turn. Then the Zubat is pretty simple. Grimer, I think, is a little bit weird because you want to get hit from Pound, and so you've got to manipulate both the crit RNG and the Pound to not kill you, doing the exact right amounts of damage. Then we manipulate Screech fails from Voltorb while we do these Horn Attack crits into Poison Sting. Now this is an extremely important change here in this next fight, Coughing. This is a 1 in 39 Horn Attack, and then that's a Smog Miss into a 1 in 39 Horn Attack critical. The combination of the 1 in 39s there and the critical on Coughing, allowing us to not have to crit twice. And now we have Nidorino. I agree, SL lead. But we're not done yet. We got 2 things. First, we got a split for Moon. You can see us, we're making incremental time save. Yeah, Stringclaw? Now we're gonna get Sandshrew. I turn frame the last room of Moon. RNG manip for the Sandshrew. It has like no delay. That Sandshrew catch is a lot faster than the old one. There was like a 30-second wait for the old Sandshrew. But the D-Sum lined up a lot better this run. So remember, we're 19 seconds behind because of the Pidgey. Exactly, wait for you. We have to switch Nido back to the front because we never did. We never did that earlier. We never had to because Squirtle's dead. But now that we've centered, so that we can get back to Cerulean from Bill's house, we need to get Nido King into the front and then actually make him Nido King. Yeah, it's Great Wave Warrior, because if you ever make even the slightest mistake, it's just RNG manipulation. Alright, so we need the critical and get Tail Whip fails. More insanity. That is most of how it works, casual poke player. Actually, Mashing during text boxes causing print letter delay and mistiming text boxes intentionally for RNG manip is like 99% of the RNG manipulation in the run. It will come. Instant text is not viable for Misty because the RNG manipulation is so precise that you can't print letter delay if you have. There's no Misty split. I should like skip and then, or yeah, I should just skip and then split these two together for Nugget Bridge. So yeah, this fight is stupid and has 2 Gen 1 misses, or 3 Gen 1 misses, and 4 1 and 39s, and 3 of them are crits. So it's a 1 in 100 quadrillion Misty fight. And we rush Misty that early because we need Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam Shakes animation is way faster. Amoeba UK, welcome. Blue Bisharp, welcome. SSPX, welcome. Welcome by the stream, everyone. Thank you for watching. We are getting close to Nugget Bridge here. Yes, Amoeba, it is world record pace. We now have instant text. Instant text means we cannot print letter delay. Print letter delay is when you mash during a text box and it causes changes in RNG or delays. So we use those delays to change RNG. And now we have instant text and red bar. Exactly. You do not need water gun if you already have bubble beam. Now we already need to get hit again soon. Gust to 1. This is a 1 in 39 critical that I found, which was extremely difficult because we don't have print letter delay because of instant text. So it's like a 1 in 240 chance thing that I had to like move so many levers to get to line up correctly. But it's faster because it's a shake animation that kills it easily. Instant text stays on for quite some time. Krunk? Kronk! And it's with a K. You're killing me, Amoeba. Oh, also, the, what's this thing? Oh, all of the text box is, you have to, like, you have to do A, B, in just the right order for instant text, otherwise you get print letter delay. You gotta be up to date on your Emperor's New Groove lore around here, otherwise you're gonna get smacked. Smackdown. That's a classic movie. Blue Bisharp 28, welcome to the calculator. Thank you for the follow. But yep, continuing on the bulb beam train and getting red bar level ups. These shake animations are essential to the speed of the TAS compared to RTA. Yeah, if you, so what I was saying earlier, through all the instant text bridge stuff, you have to press A and then B and then A and then B in just the right order so that you line up consecutive input lag precisely. Like if you do A instead of B at the first text box, you might end up somewhere where you have to do A and then you get consecutive input lag. The crit rate is 1 in 6. 1 in 39, obviously, for 1 in 39s. kind of self-explanatory. But I do not know how many crits there are now. There's a lot of them. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7 planned Gen 1 misses. There are some delays that I have to do on Brock and Route 3 that I still don't really like, but they're a lot better than the older version. And 0 unplanned Gen 1 misses, yes. I'm just gonna skip both these splits because they don't really work. I will split for Surge. And then you will see how much faster we're ahead at Fly when we even back out with the Flyer. We saved like 90 more frames in the Misty fight from the addition of more Gen 1 misses. Yes, because we caught a Flyer there, where we caught a Flyer later for Doduo in the Fly split in the old revision. That is instant text red bar thrash learn. I love that. It's so beautiful. Gotta lose time to save time. So the thing with the Flyer is, Doduo's cry is longer than Pidgey's, and we really want to have that Flyer earlier. Now there's also some like other factors. Having Pidgey in slot 3 instead of 4 is actually really bad. It's way slower in terms of inputs to have Pidgey in 3 instead of 4, because you would catch Sandshrew and then Doduo doing it that way. But the amount of time saved from the cry makes up for the issue with the inputs. And the other problem is you lose 30 frames at the Cerulean Center. But again, the cries are much more significant than like the marginal frames with a couple input orders and the extra Pokeball that shows up in the Cerulean Center. But yeah, we gotta go get instant text back again now because we lost it when we learned Thrash. This route is planned also for, so we get Misty early to get Moa Beam, but then we also keep Red Bar instant text all the way through the Nugget Bridge to a place where we would have to lose it at Bill's house anyway, when we also get Thrash just a few Pokemon earlier. And then it's routed so that we can get back and get instant text after that point, and we don't lose it again until we would have to lose it on the SSAM. So the instant text routing is very precise, and the only optimization possible would be if you had an insanely long amount of botting work put in. You might be able to find a couple of frames faster if you did Misty with instant text. But again, it would be an insane amount of botting because it's a 1 in 100 quadrillion fight, and you don't have the ability to print letter delay any of the RNG. You can only, like, literally cause delays of frames by making text boxes happen later. Instant text, full restore pickup. That's an RTA thing. Now, this fight's interesting. It is technically faster to Bubble Beam these 3 Pidgeys. We don't have the Bubble Beam PP for it because it's so tight with using it all the way through the bridge and through to Bill's house. So we actually have to thrash that fight specifically for PP concerns. Thrash is only faster than an equivalent Shake animation move if it's a full 4 turns of thrashing. But it's also used in many places in this task because it can get 3 or 4 turns of killing things with a critical, where you would otherwise have to use a Shake animation. Or sorry, not a Shake animation, a Flash animation. So you're getting both the benefit of the Shake animations and the amount of damage that Thrash has for a long time. That's better, okay. Now this fight is awesome. This is nothing like anything you would do in RTA. Because you have Thrash. And, oh boy, let me tell you about how useful Thrash is for a TAS. 4 Pokemon we need to kill. Just manipulate 4-turn Thrash. And crits on whatever needs to crit. That doesn't need a crit, so we don't. That doesn't need to crit. And then you crit Ivysaur. It's easy. Now here's a fun TAS note. So we need to manipulate cans at Surge, and the way they do that in RTA is by doing a save and quit manipulation. But what we actually have to do is manipulate the timing of leaving the SSN, because the first can is chosen when you load Vermilion City. So the save and quit loads Vermilion City, but also leaving the SSN loads Vermilion City. Yeah, it might not work out quite that perfectly if you attempt that. That would be pretty insane, Jim. Glitchsaur! Thank you for the follow, Glitchsaur, and welcome to the calculator. I hope you enjoy the rest of the console verification. Now here we are gonna need cut. We don't need dig, but we do need cut on Sandshrew. And that's where you would save and quit, but now we're just gonna go straight in. First can. Wartab! I am so glad you're in the calculator, Wartab. Thank you. Giant Chimpnut. Welcome to the calculator, Giant Chimpnut. Even Giant Chimpnuts could be in the calculator. Now, Surge. 3 turns, easy. Just manipulate whatever crits we need and we're good. Or I think actually some of them are damage rolls. Yeah, that Voltorb I think is a damage range manipulated, so we don't have to crit. And then Pikachu, crit, manipulating not getting quick attack though, and then manipulating a crit on Raichu. Okay, I'm gonna split here though for Surge. $35-22 Surge. Thank you, Glitchsaur. Much appreciated. Sub 36, indeed. Enderborn, thank you for the follow and welcome to the calculator, Enderborn. Much appreciated. So again, we have escape rope. We bought 7 escape ropes in pewter, so we do not ever need to use dig. Dig's gonna keep occupying a slot in our inventory. That was a bonk. Okay. If I remember correctly, Win CZW. Okay, I'll explain what happened with the bonk there in a second. But in general, what's happening is we are console verifying a Pokemon Blue Glitchless TAS in 17.5 seconds of improvement overall. And so this is playing it back live on an actual GameCube and Game Boy player. You can see the GameCube here. Game Boy interface is using a script of inputs on the SD card plugged into that GameCube. And here we're manipulating 4-turn Thrash so that we never have to crit. Now what happened back there with the bonk in the bike shop, there were 2 options. One, an A press to change whether the girl goes up or down. Or, let her do that little bit and just bonk for 2 frames. I chose the bonk for 2 frames. Because I wanted to buffer A for the bottom and not have to turn and bonk on the counter from the left side. Now we have to manipulate the range on this Venonat. And not critting. Etchy! Welcome by the stream, Etchy. Now we're going to start manipulating rock tunnel encounters while getting our ball beam and thunderbolt ranges. I think that you're like extra low level here compared to RTA. I don't know if it causes any ranges. Like you're just leveling there on Slowpoke. So I don't think the Slowpoke is a range, but the Cubo might be weird because you're like on a borderline level that you would never be close to in RTA. Yes. So if you're like, I don't know if I care about this blue glitchless TAS. What's going on with this? Wait 2 fights, because the hiker fight is special. And nothing like anything you've seen before in Pokemon. I don't know if I care about this blue glitchless TAS. What's going on with this? So, generally what we're doing is we've scripted a series of inputs. I know Amoeba's joking, but I'm going to say this just for anybody else in the chat who might be listening. This kind of seems like cheating. We've scripted a series of inputs in an emulator. And the emulator is perfectly accurate to the console. So we're able to take those inputs and inject them into the console and play back live on the official hardware. Look, Ma, no hands. Oh, what? Okay, I guess that works, right? If you just Gen 1 miss self-destruct, then you can Thunderbolt Geodudes. And even Graveler. So that's actually done because we don't have enough Bubble Beam PP. If we had Bubble Beam PP, we would actually use that because it's faster, but it's pretty closely similar to do the self-destructs because the HP bar doesn't animate dropping. It's less than like 60 frames of delay amoeba for all three of them. I think it's closer to 50 or 40. Gotta get quick attack there because we need red bar just a little bit longer. Yes, the other benefit is it is much cooler. It increases the entertainment value of the run, but we do have to do it because we are out of Bubble Beam PP. And then this is a fun little fight here. So because we can manipulate crits, we actually Thunderbolt Growlithe and Vulpix here because the Thunderbolt crits can be guaranteed. And then we don't have super effective text. The Hammer Show. Welcome by the stream, dude. It's been a while. Now, TAS trick here, done occasionally by humans. Top Elixir. This is done because we can now enter this ladder here, or stairs, from above and never turn in that room. The RNG in this game works by tracking the amount of time the console has been on and adding that to the previous value of the RNG. It's called the divider value, and it's constantly adding the divider to the previous value of the RNG every frame. And because that's how it works, we can just change how much time the console has been on for every RNG call by causing delays earlier, like delaying a text box here, A pressing there to check for an NPC, which causes a 2-frame delay, stop movement for 2 frames, all sorts of little tricks. And because we can change the amount of time the console's been on that way, we can change RNG as we need. Yeah, we can mash during the printing of text to throw off the reading of inputs, which causes different CPU cycles between frames. It's like all sorts of really weird tiny stuff can change the RNG. And now this is where things get massively improved, because we did not have to catch Doduo there where we did in the previous run. It is faster to bike to the fly house, even in RTA. And now we are 10 seconds ahead. $9.14 fly split. Moved up flyer to the forest to get Pidgey. Really the space after the forest. Better RNG on Brock, better RNG on Route 3, better move uses in in Mount Moon, a turn faster on the Weedle in the forest, and 2 more Gen 1 misses on the Misty fight for 90 frames of improvement. Drilling the Pidgeotto and the Gyarados here saved like 14 frames instead of Thunderbolting them. And then we just use Thrash here to finish off the fight because it's a bit faster than anything else you can do. Yeah, and there's going to be another big improvement out of the Koga fight that I will explain when we get there. Now, this is another fun trick for anybody who isn't familiar with the TAS. This fight, not exactly this fight, but coming up the next channel or after this one. If you've not seen the blue TAS, it is very, very different from anything an RTA-Rama do. Why does the TAS not use Clefable? It's a good question. Probably because of Fissure existing. Hi, OnlyLeaks. The RNG is manipulated by changing the amount of time the console's been on. We just explained this a couple minutes ago, but I can totally explain it again. There's like 2 RNG numbers, and one of them is like the previous value of RNG plus the amount of time the console's been on, and the other one's like the RNG minus the amount of time the console's been on every frame. And because of that, you can just cause slight delays, imperceptible delays. Things like changing when you turn, changing how many times you turn while walking, mashing during text, changing when you clear a text box by a frame. Metronome horn drill. Wouldn't have to go through all that. But this is what I was talking about with a massive change here. So we just did the, what do you call it? The heal pad. We can't skip the heal pad. That would take like 45 seconds to fight that other trainer and skip the heal pad. Much faster is instead to take the heal pad and then regain red bar by thrashing Ghastly for 4 turns. So you never have to reselect moves, and it doesn't do anything to Ghastly. But take Nightshade 4 times to slowly get hit back into red bar. That only takes about 18 seconds. And because of that, the fastest thing to do, actually, is to never take a center and regain red bar that way. Even though the movement is awful. Like, you have to fly around to places that you don't normally have to fly around because you never take the Celadon center. But red bar is so valuable that we simply, we simply can't afford to do anything except get red bar back there and never lose it. Now, we'd swapped up Pokedolls discreetly earlier, so we also bought 2 Pokedolls, so now we still have one in our bag for bag space concerns. And the same thing we did with Horn Drill. So we bought 2 Horn Drills to have an extra one for our bag space. You thrashed Ghastly in your PD. Yes. Getting red barred by thrashing Ghastly is the pro play. Yeah, there's not really any alternate main possibilities in blue. I think that the Japanese TAS writer tried to do the starters and couldn't find a better way to do it. But the starter does, like, if you were to use Squirtle the whole way, it would have the advantage of having Stab Bubble Beam, whereas King does not have Stab on it, and that helps with the shake animation. Gotta remember to Flute Split here in a minute, but first we gotta take up this rocket. Sorry, what was that in reference to, Wartab? I have no short-term memory right now. Sorry. Oh, I think it was in the matter of like 30 seconds to a minute. Yes, I'm dying of things. Clearly. No, I'm fine. I had a little bit of a cold last week, but I can't imagine it was any sort of serious problem because I didn't have a fever. So now we're going to do a nice little trick that is TAS only for now, called Left Cycling Road. It is technically faster to go down the left side of Cycling Road than the right side. Yeah. I don't think it was anything serious because I didn't have a fever, and the thing that is going around that is serious always causes a fever, so I think I'm good there. Yes, we run from Snorlax with red bar, and then we can bike all the way to the left side, which is fast because if you're still along that top part, you get full bike speed. And then you have to go side to side a little bit on Cycling Road, but take the right side or the left side, and doing the left side means you just get full speed the whole top side. And then you can get max elixir here. And now we go straight down, and we have full bike speed for all the way right here. Much faster than the alternative. Get on our bicycle. Cut bushes. Now, Safari Zone was very kind to us. Squirt Trio Reno? How about Squirt Fable Trainer Rio? I agree. I wish more runs had like crazy chains of mains instead of just one thing blowing everything away. Would be more interesting. Going through some extra grass for fun. Decon, welcome to my stream. Then we have to go through that grass. No Face 099, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the calculator. Now, more intentional, gratuitous grass here. Gotta get our gold teeth. And surf. The classic 5438 surf. Let's go Pikachu alone, Doug Triobra. Biking to Koga, getting that 2 frames faster over walking. And now we have some serious fun with early Koga with Thrash. So this is manipulated 4-turn Thrash, with also manipulating crits on every turn except Kadabra. Then we have no setup drills on both Drowsy and Hypno. And we have full drill count because we took the heal pad in the tower. Now, coming up on Koga here is one of the bigger improvements to this TAS. In the previous TAS, King Jeff WX, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the calculator. In the previous TAS, we lost a turn on one of the earlier coughings because I did not think I had enough drills to do everything. I forgot, maybe not forgot, but I was working off of a Japanese TAS that had a completely different route because it did the Celadon Underground area, and it had like different horn drill counts and all sorts of weird stuff. So now in this TAS, I'm able to drill all three, coughing, and then Venomoth, coughing, and then on Wheezing, Elixir, and get self-destruct Gen 1 miss instead of drilling the Wheezing. We need to get the Gen 1 miss because we need the experience from Wheezing. And that was very little delay. I found a pretty freaking good self-destruct Gen 1 miss there. So, oh, dang it, I forgot to split Koga. We'll see that improvement soon. Randall Eats Cheese, thank you for the follow and welcome to the calculator, man. Appreciate it very much. I have a really high quality capture set up to Wimped, so this is about as good as you can make Gen 1 look. Gen 1 miss is 1 in 256. Yeah, because it's a 8-bit number. Now, manipulating the encounters here, where we would normally have repels. So there's some precise A pressing and things like that to avoid encounters. We can also use these text box clears to cause delays if necessary to avoid encounters. I don't think I had to on that one. Randall Eats Cheese. It's a really nice string of RNG frames, but the water is also really low encounter rate. So manipulating the water is not difficult. Manipulating the mansion is what is difficult. Much higher encounter rate in the mansion. Yes, that's why we skipped Blizzard. Actually, the reason we don't need Blizzard or Ice Beam in this run is because this run keeps Bubble Beam the entire run. The yellow run does not have a Surfer naturally, and so needs to teach Surf to Nidoking, which causes us to not have room for Bubble Beam. Worcester? Who's Worcester? in TAS, we don't have to get the Candy or Earthquake, because we're going to get Fissure from Giovanni. That's all from the old TAS, so don't mind explaining that now. We don't need a ground-type move for Agatha this early, because we can just get Fissure and then manipulate Fissure hits on Agatha. So we just drill Arbok. Swag Elixir pickup, is that a thing? I'm so behind the times. I did add an additional swag into this run. I think you can swag some of those doors. It's possible, yeah. Basically anything where you can stop and turn frame. Turn frame facing away. You have to, like, stop movement, though. You have to stop movements that you can turn frame away. If I understand. So now this is so we don't have to use too many horn drills. We need to Thunderbolt, Pidgeotto, or Pidgeot, I can't remember which one it is there, and Gyarados. Thunderbolt crit Growlithe, and then Alakazam. We can drill. And Venusaur. No, we have to QA to maintain red bar there and get Sabrina Psywave. Sabrina Psywave is the last red bar maintenance. If you don't get QA'd there, you have to you aren't in red bar all the way to Sabrina. And you can't, like, fix that by getting hit earlier in a faster way. Sylph does still have some lag in TAS. There's no way to get rid of that lag from, like, when you step up and then turn right. Now, this is a hard fight. The Thunderbolt range on Nidorino is very precise. I think it's a 1 in 39 crit, but it's necessary because you are running out of horn drills. And then you also have to Thunderbolt crit Kangaskhan. The range isn't so hard with Kangaskhan, though. Then Bubble Beam can non-crit because it's super effective. And we have a drill left for Nidoqueen. And we Elixir while we're escape roping out. We Elixir there because we are now out of drills, having used all of them to finish off Nidoqueen. Oh yeah, this whole like everything here, there's no point splitting because all of the individual gyms are in a different order. So we just gotta wait to split until Giovanni, really. Because it's fun. It's fun to see that difference of, oh, we're plus X number of frames here, but we're minus X number of frames here. So it's worth it. Ugh, apologies for the yawning. I get that when I have migraine issues sometimes. Alright, Blaine questions. They're still bad in TAS. Nothing you can do there. It's a large number, SSPX, but it's not that large. And it's... re-record count in Pokemon TASes is not something that's really worth looking at, because the most serious sections of RNG manipulation are botted, and that inflates the well, realistically, that would inflate the re-record count into like the millions or billions potentially, and it's meaningless. Like, yes, I put in X number of re-records potentially for, like, my work, but that doesn't really appropriately reflect the amount of work that went into making the TAS. Yes, RTA world record is 145.21. The old TAS is 129.53. Oh, sorry, SSPX. What I was basically saying is that the re-record count is irrelevant because sections of the RNG are botted, and so the re-record count, if it were actually counted properly, would be in the millions or billions, but it's only in like the tens or hundreds of thousands because of the work that I did as a human being counted. So we drill that fight, and then we thrash Erica for PP management purposes. Exactly, Goku. It's like that, except that it wasn't done in BizHawk with Lewis scripting, so it's not actually like in the movie file, so it's a mess. So 110.13 Erica. And now we're gonna go to Sabrina, I believe, because we've already done Blaine, Erica, and Koga. So yes, Sabrina would be next, and then Giovanni. No, that's not how the RNG works at all. Like I was saying, it's not a lookup table. It's not looking up values that are in like a list of values to call for. That'd be called a rainbow table. It's tracking how much time the console has been on, and adding that to the previous state of the RNG. And because the amount of time the console has been on is a very precise number of CPU cycles, that will like never be the same between manipulations. Like if I change anything, in the TAS at all on any frame of input, everything afterwards has to be completely redone. You have to edit everything onward and redo all of that RNG manipulation. And even some stuff that isn't RNG manipulation. Yes, and hello, One Ted. Welcome back to stream, dude. Now, this is like one of the magnum opus moments of the TAS. You have to manipulate Alakazam using Psywave. Then, Psywave does an amount of damage between 1 and your level, so then we have to manipulate doing exactly the amount of damage to get us to 1 HP. And after we manipulate that, we have to manipulate, using print letter delay, Nidoking critting Thrash, because we don't have any, like, input afterward. There's no frame to delay Nido using a move, so we have to, like, mash during text boxes in just a precise way to get Nido to crit that Thrash, after we've already manipulated something stupidly precise with using Psywave into the Psywave damage roll. Which is rejection sampled to the 1 to whatever Alakazam's level is. Now, one thing to note though, talking about rewriting, is that I can, like, use the previous inputs as a framework. So it's pretty easy for me to, like, delete and add frames to refine the RNG. And that helps a lot with doing, like, rewrites. But I still have to find all the RNG again, and that takes weeks to months of time. One in 40 times. Amazing. Is that 2 to the 80th? Is that how that works? So here, because we still have Bubble Beam, we can manipulate that to not crit or crit as needed for a lot of these Pokemon on Giovanni. Nice. Kaiser Krister. We are still going. We are still playing back the TAS. It is actively verifying as we speak. Now, Bulb Beam is 4 times effective, so it will even kill Rhydon with the right damage roll. Oh, I forgot to split. I'm so bad at this. Why? Wartad's right, why do I even have a timer going? The old TAS is the 129.53. The auto splitter. There is an auto splitter for this. I should probably use it. Okay, Viridian Rival. This is a fun one. So you can theoretically X-Speed on Pidgeot here, but it's easier if you crit Thunderbolt on Pidgeot and then X-Speed on Rhyhorn, and then get a Tail Whip fail. Then Thunderbolt doesn't need to crit. Thunderbolt probably does need to crit Growlithe. Yeah. And now we have Fissure. Neat. Now we're gonna get to some of the swaggy areas of the TAS, but also some tight menuing in Victory Road. Only parts of it are scripted. A lot of it is done by hand still. Scripting the entire thing like that is done by Mr. Wind. It is possible to script the entire run. That was a swag boulder. This floor was pretty kind to us in terms of RG manipulation. Yes, that is a very significant advantage of using Sandshrew. But sadly, because you only use it for strength and not cut, or sorry, strength and cut and not dig, it is not worth it to change Sandshrew's name. It's worth it to nickname Charmander in yellow, but it is not necessarily faster. No, Randall, it's actually not. Swag Boulder is used for RNG manipulation because it causes delay. Using strength, also elixiring and getting on the bike. Like that, that's an RNG manipulation. Yeah. if you would normally be turning afterward, it shouldn't lose time. Now, I did add a little special treat for this new TAS. Alright then. But yet we use Fissure and Horn Drill like usual on these fights. And that's going to be about the same through the end, because nothing really changes through the rest of the run. There's some slight move order differences, but they don't really save time. You can crit Thunderbolt on these guys because they have such terrible special. And that helps a lot with the Elite Four PP management. Yeah, the move order is different. It's different because, for some reason, Thunderbolt and the text printing for the PP designation in slot 1 causes some random delays, and it's slightly more optimal to not have to worry about that, and keep Thrash in slot 1, and then teach Fissure over Thrash. Alright, gotta remember to split for Agatha. There's that final Gengar Fissure hit. Now we menu here so the doors close out of Agatha's room. It's better than menuing in this room and saving the turn frame. And now we have Lance fight. Vulture MX, thank you for the follow and welcome to the calculator. We're wrapping up the end of the run here. We got Fissure on the Dragonairs. It's hilarious that that works. How many frames did I save? 1,052. That's the 17.4 seconds you're seeing, approximately. Supersonic fails there, very useful. And then we finish off Dragonite with Drill. We manipulate everything so that we have exactly the most drills possible for champion. We need to have those drills. I'm gonna keep my finger on split here because I want to split up. I definitely want to split for champion and the end. Oh yeah, this is a really precise series of inputs here. We manipulate a mirror move failure from Pidgeot while we X-speed. Then we can fissure Alakazam. Animations get... casual poke player. You know that. You know that. Casual's trolling me. Yes, string. No, what's the point of that? Oh, good idea. I have never thought of that before. I guess it should be faster, right? We'll have to include that in the next revision, I guess. Time to start over. Now, we saved an IGT minute over the previous TAS. No, yeah, it would be, Randall. It would be faster to do that, but the drill is... Yeah, you need to drill Dragonite. So, no way around it. It worked! It worked! Yes, honored for their exploits. 129.35 on console. It's sub 120. That's NSC. Submit this to speedrun.com. No, but I've been waiting for somebody to try that. I'm surprised nobody's tried that yet. do it on April 1st for the memes. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching. I know a lot of people posted stuff or helped share stuff on Twitter. Really appreciate that. It was a big blast to have everybody here watching. I do not know when I will be streaming next. There is a pandemic going on, which is less than ideal. And I have a very important job to take care of. So, thank you for watching. I'm going to find somebody to host.